Happy Monday, Bears fans. Chicago Bears Now is presented by True Classic. Summertime is here. Get yourself some True Classic clothing. Their summer polos are feeling great. TrueClassic.com/chat, promo code chat. Get you 25% off at checkout. Coming up on today's show, my name is Harrison Graham, and we're going to get you caught up on the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors, including a potential injury update. We'll explore and explain that in just a moment. But first, we got a July subscriber battle going on. Bears Now has picked up just 20 subs. Obviously, July just started. Cowboys Report sitting at just 4 subscribers. Myself and Tom Downey going to go mono e this month. So let's win the battle. More subscribers than the Cowboys. Hey, that means the Bears are going to have a better season than the Cowboys. That'd be awesome because Dallas was pretty good last year. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get more subs this month. And, hey, daily content coming your way. We're not going to stop this train anytime soon. Is Darnell Mooney finally healthy? That's what we're going to discuss here on Chicago Bears Now. Mooney obviously has been recovering from that ankle surgery he had following last season. He was working out with Justin Fields and Cole Kmet at a high school in Illinois. You see them there, Justin Fields taking the snap, and then Mooney kind of toward the top of the frame there, hanging out as well. And then he's hanging out with Kmet and a couple of other guys also. And then take a little bit closer of a look at Darnell Mooney here. My man is absolutely yoked. Darnell Mooney has always been a guy that's been in good shape, but he's never been a guy where you're like, oh man, he is shredded, he is ripped. He's looking jacked out there. I mean, I can't wait for the random drug test incoming from the National Football League. He looks good. He looks healthy. Matt Eberflus said he should be ready for the start of training camp. I'm excited for the comeback season for Darnell Mooney. Now, obviously, you look at the first 3 years of his career. He jumped onto the stage pretty quickly as a rookie, put together a nice campaign for a fifth-round pick, 61 catches, over 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Had that breakout in 2021 with the 1,000-yard season, over 80 catches, 4 tutties again. Started a bit slow last year. It took a little bit of time for the Bears' passing game to get going, but he was starting to pick it up with 40 grabs, 493, and 2 scores. And then he had that nasty ankle injury, which caused him to miss the final 6 games of the season. But now he comes into 2023 with the chip on his shoulder probably because he wants to get paid, right? He's in a contract year. He's been a good player for this football team, but he's competing with a guy like Chase Claypool. I think between Mooney and Claypool, there's a very real scenario where Ryan Poles in this front office pick one of those guys to keep long term because after trading for DJ Moore, who has 3 years left in his contract, he's obviously not going anywhere. So Mooney's got a lot to show to this regime here in the 2023 season. Now, as a whole for this football team, the Chicago Bears have huge potential at the wide receiver position. It's really the antithesis of last year, right? I mean, the trio of DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool, who I talked about on Sunday, like we all need to give him a chance because he's actually been pretty good in this league. His first 2 years in Pittsburgh were solid. If this all comes together, if they're all three healthy, and if Justin Fields is clicking, this trio could be one of the better wide receiver trios in the NFL. I'm excited about it. Then you add in the complementary pieces of Tyler Scott, Velus Jones, St. Brown, and Pettis. Yeah, this could be a nice little wide receiver group for the Chicago Bears. Now, who's hyped for the Bears wide receiver core? I'm pretty clear that I am. Type me if you're with me and if you are fired up about the Bears wide receiver position heading into this season because I think it could be really, really good. Now, is Matt Eberflus the worst head coach in the NFL? Well, CBS Sports listed Flus as the 32nd ranked coach in the National Football League and had some bizarre reasoning here. Here's Cody Benjamin on this one. He says it's not all Eberflus's fault. So how's he the worst? He debuted with a stripped-down roster, but if you're going to be a defensive head coach in today's NFL, you'd prefer not to shepherd one of the league's worst units on that side of the ball. A big leap from Justin Fields would help. I mean, of course you would prefer not to. More thoughts from me in just a second because I think that quote is kind of conflicting with ranking him as the worst coach in the league. But first, got to talk about our sponsor, True Classic. Just a classic look, right? Their polos, their T-shirts. Summertime is here. Perfect time to upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Their ultra soft, perfectly fitted t-shirts are just the beginning. They've got everything you need to build a complete wardrobe, from button-downs to Henleys to polos, and their latest comfort jeans are a must-have for anyone who wants to look sharp and feel comfortable at the same time. But True Classic isn't just about clothes. They also have an active line, shirts, shorts, and joggers as well. Perfect for anyone who wants to stay comfortable while staying active, especially in this heat in the summertime. If you're not completely satisfied with your purchase, they offer a 100% risk-free guaranteed and easy return. So don't forget to use promo code CHAT at trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your order, plus free shipping on purchases over $100. It's trueclassic.com/chat, code CHAT. One more little tip with True Classic too. If you buy in bulk, 3-pack, 6-pack, 9-packs, t-shirts, and polos, that is going to maximize your purchase. Go check out True Classic today. Link and promo code in the description and comments of this video. I got to be honest, Cody Benjamin, CBS Sports, this makes no sense ranking Flus as the worst head coach in the NFL. Ryan Poles intentionally stripped down this roster and entered a rebuild in year one. The Bears were never going to be good last year. Now, could you say that certain things should have looked better at times? Like, of course, but to just say, yeah, Flus, I mean, you're the worst in the business right now. I know your GM stripped you of everything, especially on the defensive side of the ball, but you're dead last in the National Football League. I think that's a bit of a reach, to be honest, and to call out the defense especially. Think about what Flus had to work with last year. They traded Khalil Mack before the season. Roquan demands a trade. They trade him early in the season. They trade Robert Quinn. Eddie Jackson gets hurt, misses a good amount of time. Jalen Johnson was in and out of the lineup. So your 5 best defensive players either got traded or were nicked up throughout the season. What was he supposed to do on that side of the football? And by the way, Alan Williams calls the defensive plays. Flus does not. Here's my point. Judge the coaching staff this year. I think it's completely fair to start judging everything here in 2023 because last year was the teardown year. This year you're starting to build up. You're not a finished product roster-wise, but you've got enough pieces on both sides of the football where if at the end of the year there's clear deficiencies that should have been better, yeah, that's where you judge the coaching. But when you're working with garbage, you're not going to deliver gold. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I think 2023 is the first year we can heavily judge what Matt Eberflus and his coaching staff are doing. Now, do you believe in Flus? I'm still a believer. Type B for believer, D for don't. Everything I've said, though, it's not a guarantee that he's going to be this awesome head coach. Like, it's not. We don't have a ton of evidence that he will be. My point is we don't have a ton of evidence that he won't be. Like, looking at last year's 3-14 season with everything they did to kind of just intentionally be bad for a year, I don't think that's a fair judgment whatsoever. Now, ESPN also had another list of their own. They ranked entire rosters for all 32 NFL teams, and they have the Bears at the 22nd best roster, which, to be frank, I think is probably in the ballpark and makes some sense. Now, they kind of had 4 different categories that they looked at here. Their strongest unit, off-ball linebacker. On paper, hard to disagree with that. Tremaine Edmonds, top 5, top 10 backer in this league. TJ Edwards last year was a top 6 linebacker per Pro Football Focus, played really well. You still have Jack Sanborn, who we'll talk about more in a second. Dylan Cole is a good depth piece. Noah Sewell, I like drafting him as well. You're loaded at off-ball linebacker. Weakest unit, defensive line. Also agree. I think there's more to be done, or more work needs to be done there. That is the biggest question mark, obviously. X-factor unit, cornerback. I think this unit could be special with Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon. We got to see on Stevenson and Gordon, but if they hit, this secondary and cornerback room especially could be really good. And then they mentioned Jack Sanborn as like a non-starting player to know. Now, he'll start in 4-3 sets, but they're going to play nickel a lot. A lot of experience gained last year. Now he's your 3rd off-ball linebacker. I think that speaks to the point that ESPN first made that position group is the strongest on the roster. But, I think 22nd best feels fair. You've got better at receiver too. I think the offensive line should be a little bit better, but you were probably the worst in the NFL last year. So jumping up 10 spots, that feels fair. I think there's room to be higher than that, but you got to prove it, right? Like, it's all on paper at this point in time. Like, there might be a couple teams that are ranked ahead of the Bears roster-wise that isn't it doesn't have the raw talent that the Bears may have with their new additions, but they've been together and they've played for a couple of years, whereas the Bears, it's a lot of new pieces. So I think 22nd's fair. I think it's a good roster. It's not great, but it's certainly much better than a year ago. Now, do you think the Bears have a playoff caliber roster? 22nd obviously isn't going to get you into the playoffs, but if you can sneak into that top 20 in a weaker NFC North, you could make the playoffs in a weak NFC. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you guys think on this one. All right, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. No live show tomorrow. I got the day off for July 4th, and go spend some time with your family and your friends. We will have a video that goes out, so stay tuned for that. But hey, check out our 10, 15-minute video, and then go enjoy fireworks, a couple of drinks, the pool, whatever you guys like to do. Drink responsibly, of course, if that's your thing on July 4th. Enjoy the holiday, and then, of course, we'll be back in studio on Wednesday with more videos.